I want to talk about the fader. Now here, for example, we have faders, of course, 1 through 8. I'm going to move fader 1. As you can see here now, in the field right here, it says F1, meaning fader 1, of course. And we can change parameters. Now we have the control change, and we can change the aftertouch. Those are two parameters we can actually change. Now I'm going to push the value knob in, and now we can see the parameters we can change. Of course, obviously, as always, we have the control change. And here you see it's set for 1A, MIDI channel 1, port A. We can always go up to MIDI channel 16, port B. Possible 32 different MIDI channels we can use in 2 different ports. Okay, so we have a control change, which is right here. This field is lit up here. Now the control change. In this field, you can set which control change number the pad will transmit. Okay? So I can turn up here. I have a control change to 12 or whatever. That control change will correspond to whatever controller I'm going to control in my DAW, my digital audio workstation, or on my MIDI keyboard, or let's say another MPC or an MV8800, a different module. That control change will still be sent to that item. Next, we have here the minimum range field. This field is used to specify the minimum value that the knob or the fader output will have. So for this is the minimum value. I can say we won't go below this certain point here. We won't go below 35. And the maximum will be 127. That sets our minimum value. And of course, we must set a maximum range as well. So we got a minimum range and a maximum range. That's our minimum range field. Next, I'll move the cursor over and we'll look at our maximum range field. Now this field is used to specify the maximum value that fader or knob will attain. So I'll go here. I can bring it down. I'll bring it down to here, say. I want to go between 35 and 100 as a value for this fader. So I may want to have the floor is going to be 35. So as low as I'll go with that. Maybe a volume on a drum or something, or it could be a volume on a bass sound. And the maximum will be 100. So I may not want to distort something. It may get too loud if it goes past 100. So to make sure I have a minimum maximum selected for this particular instrument, we'll say. And this is how we do it. Now, once I have that, I can also press enter. Control change is made up. Next parameter I can edit is the aftertouch. Now here with the aftertouch, sometimes you'll play an instrument, you want to have a little vibrato maybe. I'll play something and I'll have some vibrato to it or something. You'll touch it, you'll play it, whoa, it's got a vibrato sound, but you got to hold it down and get the vibrato going. That's the aftertouch. After I hit it, that touch, how long I hold the pad down, what was the velocity I held it down at? Well, we want to control that aftertouch data. So, I'll turn the pad here, the F1 rather. I'm here, aftertouch, I'll press enter, and now we can control the aftertouch. Now, of course, with the cursor over again, we can control the MIDI channel change from 1 through 16 in port A and 1 through 16 in port B. Now I move over here, and here's the aftertouch, right here in this field here. Now what happens here in this field here is that this is our minimum range. Okay, so I can say if you hold it down for this long a little bit, that's great. Up a little bit more, that's good. So of course, again, we have our minimum and our maximum range fields that we can set for the aftertouch. Once that's set, we're good to go. We can press enter and it's in there. Well, that's the fader. Next, we'll do the knob. I'll press the knob, turn the knob, move a knob. There we go, K1. We can change. Here we go again, right? The control change and the aftertouch. Oh, we've got increment and decrement also. Look at this. An extra one there, okay? So, we'll select control change. And here, we have the same as usual. We have our control change number. The control change we're going to actually activate. We have the MIDI. Of course, control change MIDI right there. And we have our least and the most right here. Okay, good. Back up to here, moves back down to here, and I'll press enter. Next, we have aftertouch. Turn the data wheel, press enter, and now we have aftertouch. The same thing. We have aftertouch, and we can set our minimum and our maximum right there. Press enter. Now, we also have here increase and decrease. We'll press enter here. Now, since these knobs turn around so much all the way around there, we can set our increase and decrease. We can also set of course, the MIDI control channel 1 through 16 in ports A or port B. Next, here we have value we can set right here also as well. From 0 to 127. So we can have the parameters here. You can see 0 to 127 to 127. Let me explain about this. This is called the NRPN function. And it's used to incrementally increase or decrease a value. Now, this allows you to use the knob to increase or decrease through parameters as opposed to absolute number value. So I can increase or decrease parameters. And this all depends on what your software does. So if your software allows for NRPN, then we have the control change right here in our MPK 61 or 88 to do that. And it happens right here. Once you get the right value, I'll put this back to 127 where I like it at. It was at when I turned it on. Leave it there. And that's good to go. And there you go. That's all three.